Hello everyone. The video I previously made about Parry riposte with Messer is very information dense, and that means that it's very cool, but it might also be a tad cryptic here and there. So what I'd like to do in this video is break down what we're seeing there exactly, and where you can actually find the relevant pieces in Lekker's fight book. First though, a word about my approach here. Trying to learn fencing from a fight book can be a very rewarding experience, but it can also be super frustrating. And this is largely down to the fact that fight books really weren't meant for a modern audience, especially when it comes to the teaching methodology. Fight books are really great for one-on-one lessons in a system where people wouldn't really do free fencing or sparring as we know it until they're quite experienced. Nowadays we mostly train in groups or online, and we're here mostly to have fun, so a lot of people start their sparring experiences early. So that means that for the upcoming beginner guide I really don't feel much like going through Lekker from beginning to end, but rather just trying to choose a build-up that's more suited to group lessons and then just refer back to where all these different pieces can be found in the manuscript. In this case you can see that I divided all the different types of parries against an Oberhau into a quadrant. So your parries can either be static or dynamic, meaning they're either a block or a deflection, and they can be straight or hanging, meaning that either you have the point up or the point is down. Combining these will create 4 different options. Now that we get that out of the way, let's have a look at the actual parries. The first one is a straight static one, and this is the most basic parry, where you project your strong onto the opponent's weak to stop their cut. Especially when stepping back, this is not the fastest way to do things, but it definitely keeps you alive, and it's also the only one that's truly viable to set up a bind from. In this case though, Mark takes a step back after his cut, so instead we see a piece that would be right at home in the Nachtreisen section of the fight book. The second parry we see is a static hanging parry. This is a great reflexive action. Pretty much just lift up your hand and create a roof of steel over your head if you want to keep yourself alive. And this is one of the fastest parries to get into position. And it works reasonably well to continue from as well. Accordingly, this particular piece can be found in a fight book in the section where you work against Nachtreisen. You have just missed a cut, someone is doing Nachtreisen against you, and you quickly need to get it back into a parry. The third one is a dynamic straight parry, and this is one of the bogen. In this case you see that I want to step towards my right side, but my right leg is already in front. I can solve this with a double step. And I start this deflection by simply bringing my Messer into a straight parry, but because I'm stepping under the attack, I can let the parry collapse as it were, setting myself up with a very good angle of attack. And then finally a dynamic hanging parry, also from the chapter on the bogen. Again, I step towards my right, but now I'm starting with my left foot in front, so the step is a little bit easier. The cut also comes from a different direction than the previous one, meaning that I use a hanging parry and then step away from the cut. Both these versions of the bogen are really fast in their totality and give you a really good angle of attack, but they only really work when you have the footwork pre-planned, so use it wisely. And that's it for now. Of course I'm planning to go a little bit more in depth in this subject when the beginner's guide is actually coming out, but for now consider this a nice trial run. So I'm very curious to hear what your thoughts are about this and if you have any feedback on it. Until next one though, and see ya.